Good morning. Today is Saturday, August 6th, 2022. The video you are about to see was for a road trip we took last week. We drove from our home here in Myrtle Beach, near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, to Nashville, Tennessee. On that trip, we made 10 legs, I guess, of driving. We drove from here in Myrtle Beach, and then our first stop was, where was our first stop? Greensville, South Carolina. And from there, we went to Asheville, South Carolina, charged up at a hotel, overnight for free, a Holiday Inn. From there, we drove to Cherokee, North Carolina, charged up for free there at the Harrah's Hotel and Casino. And then from there, we drove through the mountains up towards Pigeon Forge. But we didn't stop and charge until we got to Knoxville, just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. Charged there at Knoxville at Electrify America, then went to Nashville, drove around Nashville for a while, and charged up at a Electrify America station in Nashville. There are quite a bit of level 2 chargers in Nashville available, but I just didn't want to chase them around all day. We did charge at one in a parking garage right by the Johnny Cash restaurant and museum. Just across the street and down maybe a block, there was a garage that had some chargers in it. I think it was ChargePoint. And we did charge in there once for a few hours, but after that I just went to the Electrify America station and charged it all the way up so I didn't have to think about it the rest of the trip. And then from there we were in Nashville for a couple days, and then we drove straight home last week on Friday from Nashville back to Myrtle Beach and made, I think, 4 different stops, charged up various amounts at the different stops. And what I'll say, having this being the first EV road trip that we did, it really wasn't bad. You just have to plan your stops a little bit better. Normally, when we used to do these in our Honda Pilot, you pull off on the road wherever you want, you get gas, you look for Chick-fil-A or something else to eat. So here you just have to plan it out a little bit better. But I think we did pretty well with that. All of the chargers worked well. There was one, which one was it? It's in the video, where we did plug in, and after about, I think it was 20 minutes, the Electrify America charger stopped. And we had just sat down at McAllister's and I was eating my French dip. And I got a notification on my phone that the charger stopped, but it seemed to be something on Electrify America's end. It wasn't on the truck's end. I did call Electrify America and they said, well, it looks like it's still charging. I said, well, the app tells me it's not. And we got back to the truck and it was not. So, but that was fine. We had what we needed. We unplugged and went on our way. So initially, the first leg, I think the truck was a little bit confused as to what we were doing, because I'd been driving the previous 3 weeks just around here, Myrtle Beach, Murrells Inlet, Surfside, Garden City, driving at relatively low speeds. And then all of a sudden the truck, so it gave us a range, I think, of 333 miles the first day at 100% that it thought we could go. But then we get on the road, we're doing 70, 80 miles an hour with 4 people in the car, 600 pounds of us, roughly, and all of our luggage. We didn't get 333 miles of range. We got about 280. So that threw the truck off a little bit, because the guessometer, I guess, the estimated range, it wasn't sure, how to handle that, I think. So after that, it started to do better. So in the end, some legs that we did, it overestimated how much range we had. Some it underestimated a little bit. But in the end, it came out pretty close. It came out within 15 miles, I think, of about what we did. I put together a little spreadsheet in Excel, so I'm going to put that at the end of the video. I'll tag that in so you can kind of see how all of the different legs went. So that's it. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to introduce that so you knew what you were watching. The video you're going to see too is primarily just the driving bits, talking about the charging stops. There's going to be some overlooks, I think, as we went through the mountains between Asheville, North Carolina, and when we got up towards Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So you'll see some of those overlooks as well. But there are independent videos on here from the Biltmore in Asheville that we went to, the Biltmore Estate, Chimney Rock that we went to in North Carolina, and also Nashville. Those are all separate videos you'll be able to see. So watch those. I'm not going to put a lot of that on this, maybe just a couple little clips of those so you get an idea of where we were. But go to the channel and you can watch the longer videos of those other stops. So this is primarily going to be the driving parts and us driving through rain quite a bit. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. This would be a great time to click like, click subscribe. Thanks for watching. Share it with your friends. Watch it again. So we greatly appreciate you being here and watching. And I hope this video, to those of you who have Lightnings on order, I hope this video is somewhat useful to you. I know there are quite a few of these out there. I find them useful. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching. So we're still in our first segment of our ride. I guess really segment 1.5. I'm watching the road. So here's what happens. When the sensors here and over there can't see your eyes, it'll give you a watch the road alert. It did that earlier when I lifted my cup. There it is, Intervis thing. Up to take a drink of it, and I could still clearly see the road, just like I could just a second ago. But if it cannot see your eyes, it will give you a watch the road warning. So we're on 95 now, headed from Marion, South Carolina, down towards Florence, South Carolina area. We're going to take a pit stop at Buc-ee's. We haven't been to this Buc-ee's before. We stopped at one last year in Florida. That was the first time we saw one and had been to one. But they just put one in here in Florence, so we're going to stop there, get a brisket sandwich, and then get back on the road. And then I think our first charging stop is going to be Electrify America in Columbia, South Carolina. And at that point, we'll do a little bit of math and figure out how many miles we actually traveled. Compare that to how many miles the guessometer said that we could go. And see what we come up with. But this is a mapped part of I-95, so it says hands-free. My hand is on the wheel. But I could let go here and it would completely drive. I have the speed limit set, the speed it's set at 72. You can set the distance behind the car that you want to follow. And off you go. This place is crazy. This is bigger than the one we stopped at in Florida. Look at it. This is bedlam for, this is crazy for a gas station. But it's more than that. It's a big store inside. I think there's a restaurant, or at least food you can get to go. What's here besides the Sam's Club? I think she said there's a Kohl's over here. Not really sure where we're walking. Find something to do for the next 45 minutes. Okay, we just finished charging here in Greenville, South Carolina. We're up to 82% state of charge, 240 miles of range from Electrify America. There were two different Mercedes that were here when we got here. What else? A Polestar was here. We also saw a Hyundai Ioniq 5. I did have to, at one point, Electrify America stopped charging the truck, so I had to unplug it and reinitiate another charge session and plugged it back in, and it picked right back up. And we got about 137, I think, was the peak kilowatts in the charging. But we're going to take off. We're headed to Asheville, South Carolina. No. Yes. Asheville, North Carolina. Sorry. Okay, so we arrived at the Holiday Inn Express Asheville East in Asheville, North Carolina. The trip from Greenville to here looks like we traveled 83 actual miles and used 88 miles of range. That's better than I thought because we did a lot of up and down in the hills. So I expected us to be a little more inefficient than we were, but we did okay. So they have free charging here at the Holiday Inn Express, Nashville East, Sun Country. Let's give it a go. Guess it's this. Which one do we use? I guess I'll use this one, the one in the back. There are two chargers, but there's really only one spot because that spot has a handicap. See what we get. Says it's charging, so we will check it in a little bit. We're probably only going to be plugged in for a few minutes as we're going to go get something to eat. First night in Nashville. Mr. Patrick recommended this place, Buxton Hall Barbecue. Lots of restaurants within a couple blocks of here, so the place looks really good. It smells incredible from outside. So let's give it a go. Good morning. It is Sunday, July 24th, 2022. We are at the Holiday Inn, Nashville East, near the Biltmore. We're like a mile, maybe less than a mile from the entry to Blue Ridge Parkway. So we were plugged in here overnight. They do offer free charging through these Sun Country chargers. There are two of them, one on the front you see there, and there's another one on the back, which is actually the one I'm using. So it's 8:50 a.m. We're at 99% state of battery charge, which gives us 298 miles of range. Excellent for free. So what does that equate to? Let's take a look. A little piece of paper. I've been jotting my notes down. So it's been plugged in for 11.5 hours. We've been here that long? I guess so. 11.5 hours. That equates to 150 miles of range that we added. So for every hour that it was plugged in, we added 13 miles of range. And for every hour that it was plugged in, we added 5.7 kilowatt hours. So I'll update that on the PlugShare app. I think someone might have already done that, but if not, I'll put that in. So that's kind of where we are. Everyone's upstairs getting ready. I'm gonna move this out of the way in case anybody else needs to use it. There is a Tesla parked a couple down, which could have plugged into this one in the front and slid in here, but maybe he didn't need to charge up. So one of the things that's kind of odd is they have two chargers and what appears to be one spot, because this is a handicap spot, which is great, but maybe not the best place to put the handicap spot. Maybe put the handicap spot over there and leave both of these spots for the charger. So you got two chargers, but really only one place to plug it in unless you use this striped area here, which you're not supposed to do. So anyway, that's where we are. We will continue in a moment. We're at Riverwatch Restaurant here in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. Sydney and Mason. So where we are going today, we're right there, Chimney Rock. You can see the little flag. So after we finish eating at this Riverwatch restaurant, which is right here next to this little river. There it is over there. Great little spot. Open air, great little restaurant. The Maui burger with pineapple. It's fantastic, and teriyaki sauce. So we're gonna leave in a few minutes. We'll figure out how we get up there. That's where we just ate, Riverwatch Bar and Grill. You can see the mountain and Chimney Rock behind us. This is just a quick peek of the little village area they have here. Lots of little shops. We've lost Jennifer and Mason. We have to try to find them. are driving through the little Chimney Rock Village. On the left is where we just ate. So we are going to go up here, and just on the left should be the entrance to Chimney Rock State Park. Pretty cool little area, you know, obviously designed for tourists. And oh, there's a Sasquatch t-shirt over there on the right. Does it say "I believe"?
I saw glass and Daily Gift Shop. I went in and said the same thing.
So here we are, Chimney Rock State Park on the left. I want to know if there's a familial connection between the Sasquatch and the Wookiees. I don't understand if there's a connection there. All right, we'll see.
Go. Thank you.
Let's go. Welcome to Chimney Rock. No walking or cycling on the bridge or road. So somehow, yeah, you see all the people down there on the river. Chimney Rock, 3 miles. Park closes at 7 p.m. So let's see how we're going to get up there. Two-way traffic, speed limit 15. When we were coming here from Asheville, it had to be up the side of one mountain, I don't know what it was. We went up pretty far and then we came back down. And in the descent coming back down, we gained 8 miles of range. So, and that plus the amount of distance we traveled seemed like it was probably 5 or 6 miles at least. So all of that was, I guess, essentially free energy. So we had that plus the range gain coming down. We started at the top of the mountain with 277 miles of range, and when we got to the bottom we had 284 miles of range. So the truck does very good on regenerative braking, regen power back to the battery. So I'm just going to be quiet here for a few minutes and let you enjoy the ride up. Together, obviously, quite a few times. We bought tickets online, right? This
No, we
morning?
didn't. I
We
never
did not.
finished it, no.
All right. We're going to go ahead and buy tickets and we'll get in and then we'll pick you back up here in a minute. They direct us here to this, they call it the Meadows parking lot, and from here they're going to shuttle us up to the top. That's where we're going. We're going to take a shuttle up. There are cars up here, but maybe it was full earlier, so they were shuttling us up. Not sure how many steps that is. We're going to find out. We'll see you at the top in just a second. I think it said it was a 12-story, 26-story? It's more than 12. 26-story elevator ride up here. There's a little gift shop right at the top, and you can see there are people, Sky Lounge, sitting there eating. Beautiful view. Look at that. Thought we were going up. Jennifer's going down. Lake Lure lookout. So here we are, we're at the top of Chimney Rock.
Yeah, too much.
So this area we're in is called the Opera Box.
It's nice and cool.
There's Chimney Rock there. The lake. And they said some of the mountains, I walked past one of the guides talking to someone. He said one of the mountains, the furthest in the distance that you can see, is 56 miles away, I think he said. Hey, buddy. Here we go. We're gonna go back down. I think head back to the car. We're gonna go back down, head back to the car, and see what there is to do next for the rest of the day. I love all these big pieces of rock coming out of the ground. Okay, so we are driving back from Chimney Rock back towards Asheville. And this morning when we came the opposite direction, we noticed that we lost some range going up the hill and gained a lot of range. We gained 8 miles coming back down, but I don't know exactly what our starting point was. Now we're doing it in reverse, and we're going to see what we lose going up the mountains and what we gain coming back down. So we are still on our way up, clearly. So Sydney, what is the number you have to remember?
267.
267. That was how much range we had left when we left Chimney Rock. Misa, what was the number you had to remember? 2001. That's how many actual miles are on the odometer when we left. So we're going to compare when we get, after we're done going up and down, how many miles did we actually travel, combined up and down, and what is our change in the range. So far, what did you say, Sydney, 267?
Yeah.
So our range has gone down from 267 to 250, so we've lost 17 miles of range so far in 6 miles actually traveled. Because we're at 2007 miles on the odometer right now. So we are steadily bleeding range driving uphill. What's going on here?
I'm trying to light their fire pit.
Yep. It's a nice fire pit. So I'm going to see when we get up here, when we start to go down, when we get back. Alright, so we'll check in back with you in a few minutes. Okay, we just passed the Eastern Continental Divide. I missed the sign. Kind of went by it. 2,880 feet, I believe is what it said. So that's the top. So now we're on our way back down. So we went down 239 miles of range, 267. So we went down about 27 miles of range and actually traveled, hold on, 10 miles. So we lost quite a bit of range going uphill. Now that we're going down, let's see what we gain back. So we're starting at the top with 239 miles of range. See where we finish up. This is never-ending S-curves. Well, if you've ever driven up or down the side of a mountain, you know what that's like. Look at the map. You're crazy. But it's a fun drive. You have to pay attention. So about the truck. There's a Tesla. Going up the hill and up the mountain, even though we lost a good bit of range, The truck does not struggle. The truck is effortless going up those hills. Now we are not pulling anything. It's just us, the four of us in here. About 600 pounds of us. But you can't tell the difference in acceleration driving up the side of the mountain versus driving completely flat. It's exactly the same. It's effortless. You touch the accelerator pedal and it goes. And that is different than other gas-powered vehicles and trucks I've driven before. We had a 2014 F-150 FX4. We drove it in West Virginia. And I wouldn't say it struggled, but it had a little bit harder time than what we are having in this. So that's kind of been interesting to see. Coming down the mountain. Stand your side. Speed limit 35. We're doing 27. And I feel like we are pretty much maxed out on speed coming down here. The truck does see the speed limit signs. When we drive past them, it shows up in the bottom right corner of what I see. The instrument gauge cluster, I guess, in front of me always displays a little speed limit sign, and as soon as you pass one, it changes right there for you to see. Little horse pasture up here on the left. And Jennifer noted earlier, this fence isn't very tall. I guess it's enough to keep the horses in. So when I do use the brake pedal, most of that is just energy going right back to the battery pack. It's not actually, I don't think it's actually used the disc brake calipers yet at all. I don't think. So right now it says 241 miles of range. So we've picked up a few miles so far. This goes on for a while. Back and forth. So we think we're done. We think we're at the bottom. We ended with 13 miles, I guess, of actual distance traveled. And we finished with 241 miles of range. We started with 267. So our total range usage is 26 miles. So yeah, going up hills, going up the mountains, does eat away at your range. It's nice you gain some back coming back down the hill. We're still going back down. Maybe we'll get some more back. But you don't gain back what you lost going. But the regenerative braking is nice because I guess you're getting back maybe a third of it. Still going down. Welcome to Western North Carolina. Alright, well, I think that's probably about it for today. What we're doing, I'm going to split this up into different videos, I think. I'm going to post the one today of our visit to Chimney Rock as a standalone Chimney Rock, North Carolina video. And we'll do our whole road trip in different parts. So that'll end up being, I guess we'll call it 2022 Summer Road Trip Part 1. It'll it'll be Chimney Rock. We'll do it that way. And then we'll do part 2 tomorrow. Will be Asheville and the Biltmore Estate. And then after that, we're going to go to Cherokee. And then after that, we go driving through the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And then we're going to head out towards Nashville. So we'll break that up into a couple different segments. But also for the people that want to see the lightning specific stuff and the electric vehicle specific stuff, I'll just kind of edit one together, which is just the charging stops and kind of the highlights of the places we went without all of the video of all the different spots. So that's kind of it, I think, for right now. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Asheville, North Carolina. We're headed towards the Biltmore Estate today.
In 300 feet.
Today is Monday, July 25th, 2022. This is the second destination on our summer road trip. Yesterday we went to Chimney Rock, just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and today we are going to the Biltmore Estate. I've never been here, the kids have never been here. Jennifer has been here several years ago and a few times. But we are greatly looking forward to this. So we're getting ready to turn in. There's also a Leonardo da Vinci, I don't know, what do you call it?
Light
Featured
exhibit.
Yeah, exhibit. So we're going to go to that later today. We're just waiting to turn in. Fancy McDonald's over here on the right. Like medieval looking McDonald's. Here we go. Welcome to Biltmore. These are all the tickets.
What does it say? Proceed through gate, tickets and information ahead.
I like the gate. It's really quiet in here. So the plan is today to spend the day here at the Biltmore, do the Leonardo da Vinci exhibit, and then after that we will head out towards Cherokee, North Carolina, check in at the Harrah's Hotel and Casino there, spend the night there, and then tomorrow drive north. Entry tickets. And then eventually make our way west over towards Nashville. But we're going to have a great day here first. Please have tickets in hand. So we made it past the ticket booth after a little bit of confusion because the tickets had to be rescheduled from an earlier time a few months ago, but we got it figured out. This is a fancy driveway. is like a mile in here, isn't it?
It's a long ways in. I remember that. And there's a bunch of parking lots.
I think it said lots A, B, C, D, and E. I'm just glad we were able to get away from the Sasquatch yesterday that we ran into at the end of our visit to Chimney Rock. And that we're even able to do this, that he let us go, that we're able to get here today. So this is a nice little walkway, right? You have these nice fountains, which are currently not fountaining. Then if you come over here, see that? It's pretty big. Nice front lawn.
Look how big they are. You want to stand next to them? You and Arya can take a picture so your mommy can look at it. Okay, stand right here. Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to go in the shade. Come on here, guys.
So that was the billiard room. Now we're walking to the banquet hall. We did get the little earpieces for the audio tour. You can see everyone's doing that. This is stop 3. And you learn a lot from the audio tour. We did this in the first 2, so highly recommend when you visit. Get the audio tour and listen to it as you walk through. This is Sydney talking about when she gets her driver's license. Outside of that concerning demonstration, we just had a great lunch at the Stable Cafe here at the Biltmore. So this appears to be the actual old stable. So barn door. And I believe we're in an actual horse stable.
Thanks, Kate.
He missed the beauty too.
We had a great lunch. We have arrived at the Antler Hill Winery Village Hotel. What's here? It's a farm, village green, winery. I don't know. Here's the house. Where are we now? We're all the way up there. So I don't know. See what we can see. Starting to rain a little bit. All good with that. Cooled it down. There's it says winery entrance on the left. Okay, well that concludes our day here at the Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina. We had a great day. Got to see lots of things. The house tour, walk around the grounds, see the gardens, the conservatory. We went to the art exhibit, Leonardo da Vinci.
We had lunch at the stable.
Had lunch at the Stable Cafe, which was very good. In an actual horse stable, I think there. It's been remade into a restaurant. That was excellent.
In 400 feet, make a slight left turn on Approach Road.
I think that was the best meal we've had since we've left home so far.
Make a slight left turn on Approach Road.
We're gonna make a slight left turn now. And what else? We went to the winery. And now we're on our way out. We're gonna head out towards Cherokee, North Carolina. It says we have 276 miles of range, so we have plenty of range. It's only 62 miles to the Harrah's Cherokee Casino and Hotel. So we're looking for a nice ride out there. We'll check out a little bit around that area tonight, and then really tomorrow we're just leaving in the morning and driving up through Smoky Mountains National Park up towards Knoxville and making our way over towards Nashville tomorrow night, right? We have to be in Nashville tomorrow night. So that's pretty much it. We hope you enjoyed the video. It's a fantastic time right now. If you haven't done it already, I'm sure you have, but if not, click like, click subscribe. Please click subscribe so you'll know when we upload more super exciting videos like this. And have a great day.
In 300 feet.
Bonus footage, Biltmore Village. This is right outside the estate. So what Jennifer just found online was that the Biltmore house opened in 1895. Shortly thereafter, I guess, no, was it before that? That they bought this.
After in 1889.
George and Edith Biltmore bought the town and renamed it Biltmore Village. So everything's kind of styled alike with similar colors on the shingles and roof tiles. Similar colors to the buildings, including the McDonald's that we saw earlier, all fits into that same aesthetic.
So just the Ruth Chris here that we can't see through the trees at the moment.
The Ruth Chris Steakhouse. Architectural aesthetic. Seen quite a few electric cars down here. We've seen lots of Teslas. We just saw an ID4 that was plugged in front of the Biltmore Inn on property. We've have had several people come up to us today looking at the Lightning, looking at the truck. I think those conversations are fun. I enjoy those. Getting to show it to people who've never seen it, or they've watched videos, or they've heard about it. Some people have never heard about it and just wonder why we're opening the front of the truck up to throw stuff in it. So I think it's been a lot of fun. Welcome to part 3 of our 2022 summer road trip extravaganza. Part 1, we drove from Myrtle Beach to Asheville and we showed Chimney Rock. Part 2 was earlier today when we went to the Biltmore Estate. And now part 3 is we're leaving Asheville, driving to Cherokee, North Carolina to the Harrah's Hotel Casino. And then, we'll go further on out to Nashville over the next tomorrow. So we are on the Great Smoky Mountains Expressway. So I'm really curious to see what kind of range we get, or range degradation we get from going up and down in the mountains a little bit. I'm not really sure what to expect, how much up and down we're going to get. I have not driven this before, so it's going to be interesting. But it's a very pretty drive. We have mountains on both sides of us, beautiful green midsummer leaves on the trees. It's a nice ride. So we'll just show you a couple little clips over the next, what do we have, 28 miles before we get to the Harrah's Casino in Cherokee. Give you a little taste of what the drive is like.
Okay.
12 miles to go to get to the Harrah's Cherokee. Just giving you another peek in here of the drive. It really hasn't been too bad as far as the up and down. There's been a little bit of that, but it hasn't been as dramatic, I guess, as I thought it would be. Variances from up and down. Altitude, climb, and descent, rather. It's been pretty smooth. I'm looking forward to coming back out here in the fall, and we'll do a drive then up the Blue Ridge Parkway. I did that a couple years ago, a little further north from here, so I think this year we're going to start a little bit further south, and that'll be good. We'll do that probably in October-ish, I'm guessing, whenever we get into the beginning of peak fall foliage season, whenever that happens to be. Going down these hills a little bit on the downward side of the mountains, I guess, you pick up speed really quick. So you have to be a little mindful of that. Mills Flea Market. That's it on the left. Never seen an RV named Vengeance before. Screaming for Vengeance was a great album. When did that come out? 83? Fantastic. Staying for the night. Helicopter rides, $20. 9 a.m. to sunset. Santa's Land Fun Park.
In 1/4 mile, arrive at Terra's on the right.
Let's turn that off. I believe at this point we can find it since it's straight ahead. Drive right into it. Frontier Motor Lodge on the right. Oh, there's a Guy Fieri has a place in here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of restaurants. Guy Fieri. What's the other person? The mean guy. What's his name?
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay has a restaurant.
Mean guy.
Have you ever heard it?
He is mean. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not mean.
Maybe we'll check
I
in.
just couldn't remember his name. I'm not sure if there was a Wolfgang Puck restaurant. I looked at the list earlier today. There's a bunch of restaurants.
Just we check in, then I'll go take it around to the garage and park and plug it in. We dropped Jennifer off at the main entrance. She's going to go and make sure they have our reservation because we never got a confirmation or anything from them. But we'll go park in the garage. They're supposed to have chargers, from what I understand, at least 2 chargers on every level of the garage. So we're going to go find some of those. We have 222 miles of range. We'll do the math in a minute. I'll pull out my scribble piece of paper. See how we actually did. Whoa. So we are on the 4th floor. There were 2 Teslas plugged in on the 3rd floor, so we came up to the 4th floor. Open charger, we're gonna plug in. Bonus. All right, so we made it. Harrah's Cherokee Hotel Casino. So let's see. We left the Biltmore, statistics wise, starting mileage of 2,049 miles. We now have 2,113 miles, so that means our actual mileage we drove was 64 miles. Loss of range was only 55 miles. So we did better than what it thought we would do. It gave us loss of range 55 miles and we traveled 64. So that's pretty good. So we're gonna unpack, go and plug it in. You ever plugged it in before?
No.
Kind of only goes one way. There it goes. So blue, we're gonna go green. Let's go check it out. Yep. It says we're at 77%, 222 miles. We're on green. Vehicle charging. All right, excellent. We're gonna unfrunk because we were all frunked up. So we're gonna get everything out into the hotel. Okay, we made it into the Harrah's Casino Hotel. Tried to go to Guy Fieri's restaurant at 6:30 now. Soonest they had available was 9 p.m. So she recommended the Wicked Weed Brewing Company, which I have another friend that recommended the one in Nashville. We did not get to go there. Maybe we'll eat there here. There's a couple other restaurants up here. There's a look over the casino floor. Little stage, look at that. Electronic drums. So, pretty cool. Event center. I saw some sign, something downstairs. I only caught a glimpse of it. Something about 3 doors down. I don't know if they're playing here at some point. So we got Wicked Weed. There's this Brio Italian Tuscan Grill. What is this? This is Wicked Weed. We plugged a truck in and it said, the sign said, please limit charging to 4 hours or you can be towed. So I asked about that at the front, so because I'm not going to be charged up in 4 hours. And the guy essentially said, don't worry about it. He's never heard of anybody being towed. He had somebody that put her car there for a week, left it in the same spot, never went anywhere. They don't tow anybody. It's nice to hear. Still don't want my truck towed. I don't even want to take a chance of that. Rio Tuscan Grill. Good morning. It's Tuesday, July 26, 2022. 7 a.m. We're about to check out from the Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and start making our way towards Nashville today. So we'll make a few stops along the way, I'm sure, as we drive through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. (1886) Turbine Mill. For over 50 years, the mill you are approaching ground corn into meal and wheat, into flour for the mountain community near Mingus Creek. In place of a wooden water wheel, a small steel turbine provided power to run the mill's stones and machinery. Rehabilitated by the National Park Service in 1968, the mill operates during the summer as a historical exhibit. So I guess it looks like they have diverted the entire stream into here. See if I can do this without dropping the phone. What concerns me that Sydney's on that ladder. I don't know that she's supposed to be on that ladder, but for sure. I think she's testing the ladder before she goes up. What's your daughter doing? There's 4 rungs of the ladder missing. How did she do that? What is your plan? I don't know how you're getting down.
You don't have anything else to step on?
Okay. I tend to think it's probably not allowed, but they're not open yet, so I guess that's what you did. Pretty cool. So the water comes in and it goes down that shaft over there, and then it goes underneath, apparently, and turns a turbine, which turns the millstone. Pretty cool. Let's see if we can go in. I would imagine not, but who knows? Thwarted by the lock.
Oh, it's through the lock? Wow. That's really neat. I'm gonna put my name in here. I don't have anything. Do we have any stuff on
No, I don't tend to
Well,
carry
that was
those.
Mingus Mill.
Wait, I got a rock.
You got a rock.
Everyone seems to have carved their name. Well, I guess not everyone. A lot of people.
You need a rock.
Did you actually do anything there?
Huh?
Does it say your name?
Yeah.
You can read it?
I'm not really. I wrote it over on the name, kind of messy.
All right.
Ow, my ass!
That's what you get. Okay. We're gonna go back to the truck.
let me do important news, you stupid motherfucker. I got so angry. You got a head start, and I caught off. I'm not here with you. Dad. This.
We looking for snacks? Thank you for the water. We are about to be in the clouds. We are in the clouds. Pretty cool. We are one with the clouds. The clouds are one with us.
I missed the camera. Gotta go again because I missed the camera. Oh, there's a trail. Go to the mountain view over there.
Okay.
Wait, where's the
It's right here.
All right, let's go. Welcome to Newfound Gap. What are we learning?
Well, I was going to go to the bathroom, but I saw the sign for them. Oh. Thought it was going to be more mysterious.
Yeah.
We're descending into the abyss. Now, I believe there are zombies in these hills.
Swag.
And I believe the specific species is Sasquatch zombies.
It's a moss tree.
You're really good there, Sid.
I know, right?
You lie.
There are Sasquatch zombies.
You lie. You
Nope.
are like Papa.
I don't know what that means, but I think that's a reference to one of the shows that he watches because I don't call anybody Papa. I think the Sasquatch zombies are watching us. It's hard to say. We found that Sasquatch home the other day, and that was pretty good. Oh. Does he make anybody else nervous but me? It makes me nervous.
That's not a jack boy. See, that's like a broken leg fall. Right.
For the permanent enjoyment of the people. This park was given one half by the peoples and states of North Carolina, Tennessee, by the United States of America, and 1/2 in memory of Laura Spelman Rockefeller by the Laura Spelman Rockefeller Memorial, founded by her husband, John D. Rockefeller. Oh, that's something. You zoom out. Let's go on up. So now we're up on the top of the Rockefeller Memorial. I wish it was a little more clear of a day. Maybe on the way back from Nashville, I think we're probably going to come back through the same way and go to Clingman's Dome. Maybe do that. Do this Cades Cove. But we're not going to do today. We'll try to hit those things on the way back. So Sydney and Mason went up there in the woods somewhere.
So much cloud. Yeah.
It's a little chilly too.
Hi.
How you doing?
Well, I'm pretty good, but my question really is more, how are you doing?
You're doing great.
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
At least you guys are having fun.
Fun's, bold word. More like I'm bored.
Guys, please stop.
So come look at this. You can walk this trail 1,972 miles to the end point in Maine. I'm not sure where it picks up on the other side to the bottom. I have an incredible amount of respect for the people who walk this entire trail. I'd like to see where it picks up on the other side of the parking lot somewhere. But it doesn't tell you how many miles to the southern point. I was hoping it did. We drove down a few feet and I guess we are just below the cloud deck. Now we have much better visibility. And look at that, spectacular. See if I can zoom in, hit the 2.5 zoom. Now we'll come all the way out to 0.5. Really a great view. Okay, we are in just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. There's a Walmart, there's a Sam's Club. Sam's Club's right over there. So let's see, we left Cherokee, North Carolina this morning with a starting mileage of 2115, and now we have an ending mileage of 2215. So we drove exactly 100 miles. So it said we had a starting range of 299 and we're ending with a range of 212. So we actually beat the estimated range by, what, 13 miles? We made, coming through the mountains, Mason, you can plug into 350 and see if it should just auto handshake and work. When we came through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, what's he doing? Gentle. We picked up, I think it was greater than 15 miles coming down those mountains. So we actually, there's one specific leg coming through the mountains from Cherokee, and then when we got to Pigeon Forge, where we ended with kilowatt per hour energy gain, and we ended with mileage gain. Initiating charger. So that was fantastic. We did really good. So this is a 350 kilowatt. We don't really need to stop yet. I think we could push it and make it to Nashville, but it would be close. And I'm not sure where we're going to charge there. We're staying at an Airbnb, and we can't plug into the house. So we're just going to top off here, give us a little bit of buffer. Starting at, you can see 76%. 36, 40, 46, 50 kilowatts. I want to see how high it gets to. 120, 117. See, we're getting close to that 80% mark where I think it dips you down a little bit. So we're just going to let it plug in and top off. Run in here through the Walmart. We'll see you back in a little bit.
In 1/2 mile, be in any of the 3 right lanes, then keep right.
So here we go. We're getting into Nashville. Somebody's tried to bump me from behind. We are very excited to be pulling into
Be in any of the 3 right lanes, then keep right.
Nashville. But this is cool. Nashville to the right, Memphis and Chattanooga to the left. Pretty exciting, and you can see maybe some of the storms we were talking about earlier starting to move in from the northwest. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's 14:53, and we can't check into the Airbnb until 1600 or 4 p.m. So we have an hour. We got to figure out what to do with an hour. I don't think we'll have any difficulty. We'll find something to do. So let's drive into Nashville together. Actually, I'm going to stop this because we're not going to go to the Airbnb yet.
Well, let's go find out where it is. We are going in, you see traffic going out the opposite lanes.
few minutes ago, there was a car pulled over on the side of the road. Some guy bent over, vomiting on the side of the road. So that was a nice welcome to Nashville, I guess. Cindy and Mason, are you
In
looking out?
3/4 of a mile, take exit 211 on the right to I-24 toward Clarksville.
Yeah.
No, I want to go.
We made it. We're in Nashville. It's raining. Checked into our Airbnb. It's like 2 miles away from this downtown area. Yeah. Somebody trying to sit on the street trying to sell us. Came down parked in one of the garages. They have charge point chargers, so it's $1 per hour for the first 3 hours. After that, $10 an hour. So 3 hours is good for today. Johnny Cash place smells really good. This is our Airbnb. We rented street parking, but we asked them if we could park in the backyard. Gate right there, a little driveway type ramp. So he said yes. That's what we did. We went and walked around the downtown area of Nashville, the Broadway, touristy area. Had lunch at Old Red, which is Blake Shelton's restaurant. And then just walked around and listened to some of the music. Every restaurant you walk, as you walk up and down Broadway, just about every spot has live music coming out of the windows. It's really quite cool. So tomorrow we'll make some more, we'll do that. We'll make some more videos of it. Tomorrow, really, I think what we're gonna do in the morning is go to Carter's Vintage Guitars. Look there, go to the Gibson Garage. And then we'll go back downtown again. Do the normal touristy stuff, take some video of that, and then see what else. See if we can find something maybe off the normal beaten path to do. So, I guess that's pretty much it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Nashville. And we will see you tomorrow. So there's a collection. We're plugged in over next to the Mach-E and one of the 150s. There's a couple 350 spots. I really like the Mach-E. Charging for 40 minutes. We're up to 77%, and you can see the rate just dropped down We were a little over 100, I think about 107. Now we're down to 81 kilowatts. So we're gonna go ahead and unplug and head to the Gibson Garage today. Mason wants a guitar, Sydney wants a bass. I'm always happy to look at more Gibsons, so we're gonna go do that. So let's unplug. So that cost me nothing. Somebody just pulled in next to us and looked at the truck. So that's about it. We'll see you at the Gibson Garage. And we made it. After a year of wanting to come here since it opened, today we are going to the Gibson Garage. So this is to pay for parking across the street. There are some metered spots. We don't have any quarters, so that didn't work out. So we parked over here. We're gonna walk in. Looks like there's a little Mexican place next door, so that might be a lunch option. It's also possible we could leave here and not be able to afford to eat for the next 6 months, so it might not even matter. Here we go. It's amazing in here already. We've been in here 10 seconds. Everybody seems to love this natural finish with the mineral deposits in it. Gibson Garage was amazing. We have a few things to think about. We're gonna go here to Hattie B's. And we're gonna go to Guitar Center because Mason's still trying to feel out what he wants. We gotta try Hattie B's. Even the guy in John, who is absolutely amazing in the Gibson Garage, said come to Hattie B's. All right, so Gibson Garage, Mason bought his first guitar for himself. Well, we bought Mason his first guitar for himself. It is an Epiphone SG Special. Plays pretty good for a $199 guitar, pretty cheap. We almost spent significantly more. What do you think about this?
It's nice.
It's nice. He's never excited to be on the video, but I think this is great. I think this is fantastic. So I'm sure we'll be back to the Gibson Garage. I'm sure we're not done. Fantastic place. Thank you, Gibson. We're coming to the Gaylord Opryland Hotel. We know very little about this. Apparently there's some kind of botanical gardens in here, like acres of gardens. A river of some sort, a bunch of restaurants. We really don't know, but we needed something to do. $30, I think, $30 or $33, something like that, just to pay to park, just to come in. A lot of people online complaining about that, but we'll let you know in a little bit if we think it's worth doing. It must be, there are so many cars here. Everything
everything dies someday comes back. Put your big upon the fix your bill wrong pretty. Meet me tonight, let's see. Yeah, meet me tonight, let's see.
So we paid $211 for the 4 of us to take a all-day hop-on, hop-off tour. Get us around the city a little bit. So we're starting at Broadway. We parked at Broadway. I think it was $43 for the day to park the truck there. Got till 9 p.m. all day. So it's parked over there. Broadway's a lot quieter this time of the morning. What it's going to be a little bit later today. So this looks like our bus, open air, looks pretty nice.
Skulls Rainbow Roof. Paul McCartney's performed there many times. And Elvis Presley, the king himself, used to frequent Skulls back when he was staying in Nashville, recording at our state Studio B.
Hope you're enjoying the tour. We're going to go see the Parthenon. So this was rebuilt here in Nashville after a World's Fair in the late 1800s. I think he said it was rebuilt around 1930. The original one was wood and plaster, and then they rebuilt this one out of concrete. It is the only worldwide, it is the only one-to-one scale replica of the Parthenon from Athens, Greece. So I'm looking forward to this. Sydney thinks she wants this red SG base Epiphone. So you said the stringing on this is the same as what?
A double bass.
Is a double bass. So you already understand how the notes are laid out?
In theory.
Go play it. Let's hear it.
No.
Good. Have at it. Smile. Try again.
I'm real careful here to try to do a good job.
You do.
Do this. They asked me to work for a living.
Look at that thing. So that's it for the Gibson Garage. 2 visits in 2 days, 2 guitars, 1 for each. Mason got his SG Special Epiphone. Sydney got an Epiphone, also SG bass. And we asked if we could go back and see the backstage area and the vault. And they were fantastic. John and Shane took us back, gave us a little tour of the backstage area. And Sydney Mason said we don't belong back there. But that was really fantastic. So we appreciate everybody at Gibson and what they've done and the time they've spent with us. You know, we didn't spend a lot of money, but we spent a lot of time in here, and I think we all had a great experience. I'm definitely looking forward to coming back, which I have no doubt we will do soon. Good morning again. It is now Friday, July 29th, 2022. It looks like our time in Nashville has come to an end. 719 Lishie Avenue. This is the Airbnb we rented here in Nashville. We're pulling out. The initial plan was to take 2 days to drive home, get home sometime tomorrow, Saturday. Sydney and Mason want to be home today. They want us to drive straight through, which would take about 10 hours, probably more. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. Either we'll drive straight through today or we'll stop somewhere halfway. But thank you, Nashville. It's been a lot of fun. We pulled out of Nashville about an hour ago, and we arrived at Cookeville, Tennessee, Electrify America station. We're gonna top off here, and we were hoping, it looked like Jennifer looked up that there was some place to eat, like a Cracker Barrel and a Chick-fil-A. But we are just in the Sam's Club parking lot. So I don't know. Maybe on the other side of these hotels on our right, there might be something. So we are plugged into a 350 kilowatt charger. Charging speed 132, 160, 159. All right, so we're gonna let it sit here for about 30 or 45 minutes. Hopefully we'll be able to go walk and find something to eat. Let's try this again. It's plugged in for about 5 minutes. And I came out and looked at it, and the charging rate was down to 34 kilowatts. So that's not good. I don't want to sit here for 2 hours or more. So we unplugged it from the one on the left. I don't think it should make a difference, so we plugged in the one on the right. Let's see what we get. Because it said, what threw me off is I looked at the screen and it said 90% charge at 10:44. It's currently 8:28. Well, that's no good. So now it's charging at 164 kilowatts. Let's see what it says now. It's starting to rain. So now it says 90% at 9:19 a.m. That's much better than 10:44. So I don't know why it's slowed down, but we're going to keep an eye on it here every couple minutes and check it. So we're getting up almost to 80%. You can see our charging speed has slowed down. There it goes. 80%, we're going down to 60 kilowatts. So that gives us, should be more than enough to get to Asheville. Okay, so here's what we discovered about the Cookeville, Tennessee stop. Just across the other side of the interstate, half mile from the charger. There are plenty of restaurants over here, fast food like Chick-fil-A, Callister's Deli. So come over here, get your food first, then go sit at the charger and eat it. We are on our way back home, sort of. We're still in Tennessee. We just crossed from Central Time back into Eastern Time. There was a sign overhead when that happened, and we missed that going the other direction. So it was cool to see going back east, but it has been pouring since we left our last charging station. You can see in that clip it was just starting to rain. We left the charger probably 10 minutes a little too early. I didn't quite have enough range when we pulled out. I miscalculated. So I wanted to go from there, which was Cookeville, Tennessee, to Asheville, North Carolina. But when we got in the car, went to Chick-fil-A across the street, and then I set the destination. We only had about 7 miles of buffer. That's a little too close with driving through all the mountains. So we're going to stop in Knoxville, just top off for a few minutes. We're going up and down, starting to get into, I guess, some of the hills and the mountain areas a little bit. It said there was a 4% downgrade for 6 miles, but we've been down and up a little bit. So maybe we'll gain a little bit of mileage. Coming the other way, we did pretty well coming through the mountains. We gained more than we used, but I don't know if that trend will reverse itself now going back east. I just don't know. So we're going to find out. But at least it's not raining as hard as it was. Listening on the news, we're hearing about all the terrible flooding in Kentucky, just a little bit north of us, and this is a big band of rain moving from west to east, kind of right along that Tennessee-Kentucky border today. So they're getting more rain. We've driven through a couple areas of extremely heavy rain, where people are starting to put their hazard lights on and slowing down. Visibility was so bad. Right now, it's not that bad. I'm anticipating we're going to get into more pockets like that. So this is our drive here for a little bit. To my earlier miscalculation at Cooksville, we made an extra stop here in Knoxville, just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. We stopped here on the way going west. Now we're coming east. So we went into the Walmart. We had to make a pit stop anyway. Everybody needed to use the bathroom, so it really wasn't an extra stop. But now we'll just go a little bit further. So we charged up from 136 miles of range to 222 miles of range, so gets us to 80%, and it charged me something like $6 to do that. So now we're off. We're going to go drive through the mountains, and I think now we can bypass Asheville, because initially we were going to stop at Asheville. So now we'll be able to go further to Greenville or maybe even Columbia, South Carolina. So we just stopped a little bit early. But no flaws with this station. We ramped right up to 100 and I got just like 160, I think, kilowatts, and then it started to taper down. And when it got to 80, it dropped us down to, what was it, like 50 or 60 kilowatts. So that's where we unplugged at 80. Off we go. Jennifer's taking a turn driving. Gave me a little break, took a little power nap. She got us out of the mountains and south of Asheville, and now we're headed towards Greenville for our next charging stop. When we went west going towards Nashville, between Asheville and Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area.
Of a mile, take exit 59 on the right to Halbert Cove Road towards Saluda.
It took us up through Route 441, which was more of the scenic drive through the mountains. Coming back, it took us on the Interstate 40, which was a little faster ride. It doesn't have the overpasses and the pull-offs.
In 1/2 mile, be in the right lane, then take exit 59 towards Saluda.
So that probably saved us a little bit of time being on the bigger road. So we're going to head towards Greenville, and we should get there with about 40 miles of range left.
Then take exit 59 towards Saluda.
We'll probably look at taking a little bit of a break, sit down, get something to eat for lunch.
Turn left on Halbert Cove Road, then take the first left.
Oh, it wants us to turn around.
Turn left on Halbert Cove Road, then take the first left.
And take that other road back.
In 700 feet, turn left on I-26. Turn left on I-26.
We missed the initial exit to go towards Greenville because I was rerouting us on the map, and we missed it by about 20 feet. So I thought it was just going to take us around another way, but it's not. It's making us turn around, go back to that.
Continue 5 miles on I-26.
I forget what the route number was. Welcome to South Carolina. .6% grade downhill, it says. So we did not have a great charging session here in Greenville, South Carolina. We plugged it in, we walked somewhere over probably a quarter mile away to a McAllister's Deli. As soon as we sat down, I got a message from the app, I believe it was the Ford app, that said there was a charging fault. The vehicle was no longer charging. It was right at 79%. So I called Electrify America, and she said, oh, it looks like it's still charging. It wasn't. We sent Mason over because he didn't get anything to eat because he's been eating Doritos and stuff for the past 5 hours. This is what we got.
Did you get it working?
So, no, but we're just going to go to Florence, South Carolina, and finish charging there. So, not great. I wanted us to get to about 90%. So we were going to sit there at McAllister's and eat, let it charge up, even at a slower rate, but just to give us the miles, but we don't have that. So we're going to go to Florence, South Carolina, just hop off there for a few minutes. This is the charging station for Electrify America in Florence, South Carolina. You can see that, where's my, it says Walmart. The app says Sam's Club. Sam's Club is over there. So if you come into Florence, South Carolina looking for the Electrify America in front of Sam's Club, you won't find it because it's over here at Walmart. So they have two 150s, two 350s, two 350s, which is what we're plugged into now. And then down here, I think it's a 150 with the Chatamo. Usually how it is. Yeah, 150 with the Chatamo for the Nissan Leaf. This was really an extra stop that I didn't want to have to make, but because the charging station in Greenville cut off early, we stopped here. We're only going to be plugged in for a few minutes. Long enough everyone ran in and used the bathroom, you know. That quick stop, and then we're going to be out of here in a minute. I wish I could get that lens flare off of there. A bug just flew right in my eye. I was trying to show you what the zone lighting looks like, but I got bugs flying in my eyes. Ugh. That's what the zone lighting looks like with a little bit of lens flare. Turn it down. Turn it back up. Turn it all the way up. Let's see. Mason waving his hand out of the back. And a little bit of lightning in the distance of the lightning. Well, we did it. We're home. 10:19 p.m. We left Myrtle Beach. We left Nashville sometime between 7 and 8 a.m. this morning, Central Time. Crossed into Eastern Time Zone. It's now 10 p.m. We stopped several times. I think, how many times we stopped? I think 4 times to partially charge at different spots. Stopped to pick up the dogs. Had lunch at lunch/dinner at McAllister. So let's see, total was 633 miles from Nashville back to home. But this is our total trip. I'm going to do a little follow-up video tomorrow after I get to look at some of the stats, but this is what we did total trip. 1,492 miles, total drive time of 39 hours and 39 minutes, and we averaged 2.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Used up every bit of our 250 kilowatts of free charging from Ford through the Electrify America app, and then had to start paying. I think it was 31 cents at one stop and 43 cents when we were maybe on a 350 kilowatt chargers. I got to take a closer look at that. But I'm going to put all this stuff into Excel tomorrow, and I'll be able to give you some efficiency stats. We'll see how we did. Thanks for watching. Hang in there. Almost done. Okay, so we're back from our Nashville trip. Just got home, plugged in. We only had like 15 miles of range left when we got home. Plugged it in, and if we remember from last week, we turned it down in the app, the Charge Station Pro app, down to 60 amps, and also we have internally turned the switch down to 64 amps, which somebody left me a comment on the previous YouTube video about the difficulties I've been having with this Charge Station Pro, that I may be thinking about that incorrectly. So I have to do some research on that. But I do know that Ford sent me an email, and I've heard from other people as well, that there's an over-the-air update coming for the Charge Station Pro. So going to do a little bit more research on that tomorrow. So what we're getting now, you can see, is the slow blinking blue with the solid amber. If I remember correctly, and I probably should have double checked myself in the book before I started recording the video, but if I remember correctly, that just means charging at a reduced rate. So we will check in the morning. We'll check the charging log, see if we got any faults, and see how long it takes to charge up. I think it's due right now to be complete at 9:52 a.m. It's about 11 p.m. now. We rolled into the driveway with only a few miles of range left. So we'll see how it does. I love the antimatter blue. So here we are, back home, back in Myrtle Beach. Actually, we're on the south end of Surfside Beach, kind of getting down towards Garden City Beach. Thanks for watching the video this far. We hope you enjoyed it or learned something from it at least. If you have a Lightning, or thinking about taking your first road trip, or if you have one on order and haven't gotten it yet, we hope you got something out of it. So in just a second, I'm going to plunk up the Excel spreadsheet I made of the different legs of our trip. I hope that's somewhat helpful. You can see though that even though the truck gets 300 to 320 miles of range, never quite go that far, because there aren't that many chargers, right? There aren't chargers every 5 miles. So I think typically we ended up getting 200, 250 miles kind of per leg, and then we would stop and charge up. And you don't charge up 100% when you're on the road. You're usually only charging to 80 or 90%, so then your range is a little bit reduced from that. But anyway, I think it was pretty good. I think it was a great trip. It was not difficult. I know people talk a lot about, well, you can't take long road trips in EVs, and that's just not true. We did it. I think it worked well. We didn't have any problems. You know, I don't mind stopping every couple hours anyway to stretch my legs, stretch my back, and get a bite to eat. Does it make the trip a little longer? Yes, it does. But at the end of the trip, you know, I didn't feel like I had been beaten up from sitting in the same position for so long. Also, I guess, talking about sitting in the same position for so long, I found that the Blue Cruise was very helpful on the long trip. When you get on the long stretches of highway, put the Blue Cruise on, kind of rested my fingers on the wheel or just off of it, and the thing just went. I could shift my position in the seat, you know, change the position of my legs and my butt in the seat and get more comfortable. And I didn't feel as stiff when we got out of the car. And I thought that made the trip much more bearable, I guess, you know, more enjoyable. I only had to make a few minor corrections with the Blue Cruise, where I think it tends to go into the right side of the lane just a little too much, but that might just be my perception. So a few times I thought it was drifting a little too far to the right side of the lane, and I tapped it back over to the left a little bit. Not sure if I really needed to do that, but I did. So anyway, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please click like, please click subscribe. Have a great day. Here's a little peek at the beach. I love the antimatter blue. Doesn't it look so great in the sun? Have a great day.